Hello everyone, my name is Freems, and this is a segmented any% speedrun of Resident Evil 2 Remake. This run was performed by myself for the purpose of explaining this speedrun. As this is any%, the use of glitches and unlimited ammo weapons is allowed. In order to perform the out-of-bounds glitches in this run, you'll need to downpatch the game to the earliest version. If you need help downpatching the game, you can find all the information you'll need to do so over on speedrun.com, and I'll try to provide relevant information to do so in the description. If you would like to watch a run without glitches, you can find all the different categories and the top runners for those categories over on speedrun.com, which I will also provide links for in the description. As I said earlier, this is a segmented run, but if you would like to watch my recently acquired world record run for this category, I'll also provide a link to that in the description. Usually the beginning cutscenes are skipped, but I thought I'd include them for the purposes of introduction, although the timer does not continue to increase during cutscenes or when the game is paused. The final time for a run is judged by the game time displayed at the end of the run. If you would like to learn about specific keybinds for the game that speedrunners use, I'll also provide a link in the description to a video created by Trey D, who is a very talented runner of this game. Okay, so first of all, we're just heading into the gas station. Pretty straightforward stuff. There is a very useful mechanic you can use in this game called quick turning, and it involves aiming with your gun and then whilst you're aiming, pressing the direction you want to move in, and it'll allow you to move quicker. We can't do it just yet because we don't have the gun, but I wanted to give a quick explanation on how to do that, because you'll probably see me using it here and there. We're going to run straight past Frank and grab the key that's on the wall, come back here, shoot Frank in the face as fast as we can, and then use the key on the door to escape. A lot of the zombies throughout the run have been named by the speedrun community. Here's that quick turn mechanic I was talking about. When we reach here, we want to use 2 bullets out of the pistol while we're waiting for Leon to come through the door. You don't actually need to approach the door, you can just stand there and Leon will still trigger and run to the door, giving you enough time to waste those bullets. We'll skip these cutscenes, and then we're going to quickly turn around and head back through the streets this way. And Claire runs faster in caution condition, and we want to use this zombie to get into caution as fast as possible. He doesn't have arms, so he bites us quicker than the other zombies, as he doesn't grab us. Once we've reached caution, we're also going to try and waste 2 bullets while we're waiting for him to bite us. That'll get rid of the extra bullets. Here you can see me aiming as I run upstairs, and that's called stair skating. It essentially makes Claire lunge forward, so she climbs and descends stairs quicker. Pretty much here we're just running past these zombies and heading in to the RPD. You want to make sure by the time you've reached this point that you've wasted all of the excess ammo you have, because we're going to put all of our ammo into the item box shortly, and we want to get rid of those extra bullets so we don't have an extra item to put into the item box. Using the switch on the right as we enter the RPD, and then crawling under the shutter there, and then we're following this corridor to reach the other shutter that's in the back of this area. We need to move this cabinet out of the way. So once that's done, just continue following the corridor. This segment of the speedrun is pretty much the same for all of the runs. It only starts to change once we get out of this corridor area. So quickly interact with the shutter, skip this cutscene, back out of the notebook. When you approach this door, get close to it, and then you want to pause the game for a few seconds, and that'll skip the animation of the cop zombie breaking through the door. If you don't pause it, he'll bang on the door 3 times, and if you pause it, he'll only bang on it once, and then when you unpause, he'll burst straight through the door. You can just run through the middle of those zombies. If you're playing as Leon, he doesn't run faster in caution, and you'll have to go around them, but with Claire you can just run through the middle. Her hitbox is also a little bit smaller. We're going to grab the knife off Marvin here and then use it on the box that's right here. And usually we continue through the shutters on the other runs, but because this is any% and we need to use the item box to get the items we need, we're going to put everything in our inventory away and grab the rocket launcher and the assault rifle out of the item box as quick as we can, and then head through the shutter and head this way. into this corridor. So when you turn around this corner, you want to try and quick turn and tuck into the corner by turning the camera into the wall, and that'll stop you from getting stunned by the zombie that's hanging from the ceiling. It's kind of tricky to get used to at first, but once you get your head around it, it's actually not that tough at all. Straight through this corridor into this room, and we're going to jump up onto this box and through the window. And when we come through here, we're just going to keep moving to the left, ignore that zombie that's banging on the vending machine. When we get down here, we want to look up and use the rocket launcher to shoot the roof, and that'll kill the zombie that is hanging around on the top of these stairs, meaning we won't have to deal with him here. We're doing stair skating combined with quick turns just to get around this area quickly. When you head through this next area, a conversation with Marvin is going to trigger, and if you use the rocket launcher to look at the ceiling and shoot it at the right time, you can essentially stun Claire, which skips the conversation with Marvin, making it a little bit quicker. You need to time that right though. You need to literally fire the rocket as the conversation's about to start. So we're going to perform the first out of bounds here with this zombie known as Eleanor in the library. She can have different positions, and it's a massive RNG element to this run. She can either be walking away from you at the end of that table or very close to the stairs. If you get very close to the stairs, it's really good RNG, and that's kind of ideal to get a quick time. Although, if you're just trying to get the run completed, it honestly doesn't matter where she ends up. You kind of just want to get her to the top of the stairs before she does the last lunge. 1 or 2 stairs away is good. And then come back to this position, turn around, and as she turns around, shoot her legs off. And position yourself sideways on the top stair so that Claire's foot is on the stair below the top of the stairs. As she lunges, you want to move away from her. And then turn around and position your back in between Eleanor's left hand and her head. And then she'll grab your ankle. When she's finished with that animation, you'll end up floating, allowing you to come over to this area and fall through the map by using that part of the floor that breaks from underneath it. Come over to these stairs, run under them, and you'll get pushed further down. You'll want to aim as you strafe sideways towards those stairs to get pushed down a little bit more, allowing you to run down the stairs and come to this area. Move back from that bookcase, and then you'll want to pause it for a second and then aim towards that area. And then the graphics will all change, and you'll notice that now we're outside of the RPD. It's kind of complicated to get that glitch correct. If you're looking for more information on it, I'll link a video in the description for that. But once you get used to it, it's actually pretty simple. We're following these lampposts as sort of a guide here. When you get close to this other one, this scaffolding is going to load in, and we're going to run up the edge of the scaffolding and quick turn around. There's actually an invisible ledge there that pushes you up a tiny bit more. And that'll allow us to get the right height to get out of this glitch. We're kind of following specific pathing right here, so that I sort of know where I'm going, because you can see that a lot of stuff is sort of popping in and popping out. It can get a little bit confusing as to where you're actually going, and you're essentially running blind for a little while. But we're heading over this way, running through all of these walls and past this porch, and we want to run down this car that's in front of the orphanage, and that'll allow us to reach street level and make it to the orphanage. So now that we're here, this is pretty much normal routing. You don't have to do anything special for the moment. There's one more out of bounds glitch that we've got to do during this run. The last part of this run is more or less normal routing. Obviously we've got the infinite ammo weapon, so it makes fighting the bosses and enemies in that area easier. But we've got one more glitch to do before then. If you're having any trouble with doing the out of bounds stuff, you can always leave a comment, and I'll try to help you out. I also live stream regularly. Quick plug for my Twitch stream there. If you want to come through and ask me questions, I stream most days. And I'll try to help you out if you're having any trouble. Maybe I'll make a video dedicated specifically to the out of bounds glitches. So, we're just following the normal path here. Don't wait around for Sherry, because it doesn't matter if she's behind you. Pretty much when Claire reaches this elevator, the cutscene will cue. We've got 2 cutscenes here we can skip. So let's just skip through those. And the audio kind of glitches here when Claire keeps talking to Sherry, even though she's not here, but it's because we got through that section extra fast. That's due to using stair skating and running in caution, which, like I said earlier, is faster than running in fine condition. So, now we're in the sewers. We're heading towards the final skip that we need to do for this run. We're going to hop up this ledge and head towards the area with the switch near the tram. We need to come up these stairs first, so I'm going to stair skate all the way up these stairs right here. You want to time this about 0.8 seconds in between each stair skate to make sure you're optimizing the stair skate correctly. When we come through this door, we're going to shoot this one zombie's leg off and run past the other one. He should lunge at you, but if you time it correctly, he won't get the grab on you. It's actually pretty easy to do, that section. Skip the cutscene, come through here, pull the switch, and we're going to come over this way and wait for the bridge to come down. So we've got another out of bounds glitch coming up. This one is a little easier to do than the one in the library, just because this zombie's positioning is really scripted. He's always in the same place, whereas Eleanor, that we were doing the glitch with earlier, she can be all over the place. We're going to stair skate down here. When you reach the bottom, you want to trigger the zombie's lunge and then quickly turn around and get him to essentially just lunge at you up the stairs. You want him pretty close to the top of the stairs. You want to wait for his foot to reach the top stair and then get him to lunge, run away from him. When he fully turns around, shoot off his leg. You kind of want him in the back corner, and that'll allow you to get him in the right position when you shoot his leg off. Again, you want to position yourself facing backwards in between his left hand and his head, and that should get you the right positioning to get the floating glitch above the stairs. We're going to use an invisible ramp on the wall there to run upwards a little bit and head through this back wall, do a couple of quick turns, and then we're out of bounds and we're heading this way. Doing this glitch allows us to get into the tram without having to get any of the stuff done in sewers, which is nice. We're going to run through this wall and then quick turn, and we're going to run for the roof of the tram. And now we're inside it. And once you reach the back, it'll push you back down to the floor. You can quickly turn around and just go and pull the lever, and you're on your way to labs. So that's actually it for the glitches. Those two glitches are more or less all you have to learn. Although, because of the RNG around Eleanor's glitch in the library, it can make this run really repetitive and RNG based. You haven't got much of a chance of her being in the best position for you, so it can take quite a few attempts to get her there. So now that we've done that, we're going to head this way, and you want to run for the far right side of the door, and that'll trigger the door to open. That's the quickest path, just to the right side of the railing, and then get into the right side of the door. So, now that we're here, we're going to wait for the doors to open. I've got the rocket launcher selected, because that's what we're going to need next. And we're going to head into the security room. A cutscene will cue, skip that. We want to put the wristband in the second slot to the right. If you put an item into a slot that already has an item in it, it actually takes a second longer for the item menu to go away. So you want to make sure you're putting stuff into empty slots. Fire a rocket at that door, and it will kill the zombie that's behind it, allowing us to get through this next area without having to worry about him. If you want to get really risky, you can leave him, and sometimes he will just be in the right position, but it's really RNG based, and it's not very often without firing a shot that he is in the right position. So it's better just to fire the rocket at the door to get rid of him. We're going to come through here and get the upgrade for the wristband, put it on top of the wristband, combine those two together to get the next upgrade for it, and then we're going to head back the way we came, back towards the security room, and head into Nest. Right, so following this corridor. If you're wondering what exactly governs when you should do a quick turn or not, because sometimes you will see me doing them and others you won't. Basically, if you've got 2 turns in a row in the same direction, it pays off to do a quick turn. It doesn't essentially lose you time if you do one when you don't need to, but you can still do normal turns if you've just got to turn once in a direction. It doesn't really make much of a difference. Small stair skates up these stairs. You should only have to aim once. And we're heading to this switch. Press that button, and then we're going to head back down this way. And we're heading across the bridge that just extended. And we're going to go to enter a couple of codes, deal with the solution dispenser. And there's a couple of puzzles coming up that you might want to learn if you're going to be running this, although if you've already ran any of the categories for Resident Evil 2 Remake, you might be familiar with these puzzles. So you can run past this Ivy, you can pretty much just ignore him for the moment. As long as you're quick through this corridor, he won't bother you on this time through. So the codes we want to input here are basically 3123 and 2067. If you imagine this is just a normal keypad, that's how most runners like to look at it, rather than memorizing the symbols. Once you've put in those two codes, you'll want to come over here and interact with this machine, and that'll give you the empty dispersal cartridge. Come through here, down these stairs, down to the left, shoot a rocket at this Ivy that's at the back of this corridor just to get rid of him, and then we're going to come into this room where we need to do the puzzle for the solution dispenser. If you've got the dispersal cartridge in the first slot, you can just mash pretty much to use it. Again, if you're looking for specific keybinds on the easiest way to do that, that video is linked in the description, and if you were planning on speedrunning this game, I definitely recommend you check it out. It's a very useful video. So learning this puzzle is pretty much just repetition. You can always watch this video in that section a few times if you'd like to learn the solution, but it's actually really simple. You literally just need to switch a couple of the tubes around and fill up the different tubes to get the correct amount. It's just kind of a memorize thing. After a few attempts though, it's really straightforward. So when you come through here, you're going to want a quick turn to the right, and we're going to head down this corridor. Two lickers are going to jump out of the roof here, and you want to stare up at the ceiling. That way you'll trigger the lickers to do their slash attack and not go for the lick. If you're looking directly at the lickers, their attacks are different, so you want to make sure whenever you're dealing with lickers, you're looking at them in specific ways, although it is different for the different lickers throughout the game. But for those ones, you just want to look at the ceiling, and you should just be able to run straight past them for this part. When you come back this way after grabbing the modulator, you'll want to shoot a rocket at the corner of the banister right there. That will kill the two zombies that are on the stairs here. The one that's close to you and the one that is also further down here. It'll kill both of those guys. So now we're heading back to use the signal modulator. And there'll be a bunch of zombies in this corridor. This is another RNG element. The zombies can be in different positions. Sometimes they're all grouped together. Sometimes they're spread out. So it can take you 1, 2, or 3 rockets to get rid of those guys. We're going to examine the signal modulator when we get to this control panel, and if you've got the same keybinds as me using that video I mentioned earlier, you'll want to press 1DSSS to get the signal modulator in the correct place. Like I said, it's very useful to have those keybinds set up the way most speedrunners do, just for these puzzles, especially the modulator puzzles. So when you come into this room, we're getting the dispersal cartridge cooled now. And Claire can interact with stuff quicker or from further away if it's to her side. So if you run straight at that machine and mash use, she should just interact with it because she's got that increased range if the item you want to interact with is to the side of you. Again, that's explained in the video I've got linked in the description. There's a lot of useful information on Trey D's video. He's also got numerous useful videos for speedrunning this game. If you would like to check them out or get into Resident Evil 2 Remake speedrunning at all, really good information on his channel. He's also a great runner, so give him a look, check him out. If you're into Twitch, you might want to follow him. He pretty much speedruns this game all the time, and I'm sure when Resident Evil 3 Remake comes out, he's going to be running that non-stop too. So we're heading back into the control room. We're going to use the dispersal cartridge on this machine. Skip this cutscene when you're ready. Like I mentioned earlier, cutscenes don't increase the time, it pauses the timer when you're in cutscenes and when you pause the game. We're going to head back into the greenhouse here. We need to come to the back and around here to the right so that we can grab the upgrade chip for senior staff. And then we're heading back on ourselves. Don't worry about this Ivy, providing you've been quick. You don't have to do anything with him, you can just run straight past him. And we're heading back into the greenhouse control room. You can run past this Ivy as well, he'll stay in the corner. We need to shoot a rocket right there at that glass panel, and that'll kill the two Ivies that are in this room, allowing you to run straight past without being bothered by them. So we're heading to go and deal with the third Birkin fight, or G3, as speedrunners like to call it. We've got to use the signal modulator before then though, and also activate a switch. Although the labs area is very straightforward, there's not really many skips or anything, or any skips for that matter, it's just normal routing more or less. Although I wanted to include it to ensure this was a full run. This wasn't a particularly great run, although it was okay. The final time on my world record recently was 23:53, which is a really good time. Although I'm pretty sure somebody can still beat it if anyone would like to. So let's head over here to the panel, examine the modulator. The code you want to use here is 3AS if you have the same keybinds as me. And then we're going to turn around and head through this door. And we need to go and check the cabinet that has the antiviral agent in it. Keep running this way, heading all the way across this bridge to that cabinet. We pretty much just want to interact with it and back out of the menu, so the code for doing this more or less keybind wise is Q space escape Q, and that'll take you back into gameplay. You want to make sure you skip out of the menu quickly, otherwise your time will continue to go up. So here we are in the G3 fight. You pretty much want to fire rockets at the back of his right foot. It should take 4 or 5 rockets. I think this one took me 5. After he's dead, we're just going to head this way and up the elevator. So now we need to get back to Sherry to get the final upgrade for the wristband that you get when Annette dies. And then we just need to finish up the run. We're going to head down the elevator and deal with the 4th Birkin fight, or G4 as it's known by the speedrun community. So back across these bridges into the center of Nests, up these stairs, and head over this way to our left, back the way we came, to where Sherry is lurking. Get her cured and be on our way through this door and interact with the door on your right. That'll trigger a cutscene. Skip that. We want to grab the chip, combine it with the wristband. You really want to make sure you're not putting those into your inventory, because then you're going to have to go back into the inventory and combine them yourself, whereas if you just do it on the pickup, it is quicker. And after that cutscene, we're heading immediately left across this bridge, interacting with this switch and into the elevator. And we've got to wait for Sherry to get on board before this sequence starts. So, slow elevator ride. We have to wait this out. There's nothing we can do about it. And when Sherry starts talking, we can fire a rocket next to her to break the sequence of the conversation Sherry and Claire have. It's pretty much a big shut up Sherry, more or less. Just like so. So, we reach the bottom. We're just going to get moving again. There's very little left of this run. It's pretty much just all specific paths and where you have to shoot the rockets to kill G4 as quick as possible. So, through the door, get moving as quick as we can, and around here to the left, through this door, left again immediately when you come through, using that quick turn, stair skate down these stairs, and we're going to open up this door, and you want to kind of just press yourself against the door and wait for Sherry to be visible coming down the stairs. If you don't do that, the door will close and Sherry will have to open it herself, and that'll take an extra couple of seconds, whereas if you hold it like I did, Sherry will just run straight through and she won't stop at all, which is, like I said, a couple of seconds faster. You can shoot rockets at these Ivies as you're coming down the elevator and you won't lose any time, although to be honest you can just run straight past them and none of them will grab you. Immediately turn to the left as you come through that door, and then down the ladder that's next to you. When you get to the bottom, you want to start moving to the left and interact with this door right here. There are 2 Ivies that get dropped into the room whilst you're waiting for Sherry to head around and open the door. One of them I just shot a rocket at. You can see it hanging, although you can't really miss these guys. If you're facing in that direction, you'll see them drop into the room. You've got plenty of time to wait for Sherry to be done. So you'll want to switch to the assault rifle here. I don't think I did it at this point, but you've got a free moment after you kill these Ivies just to switch to that weapon. I did it on the way, but if you're worried you might fumble with your weapon switch, you can always just switch here. It is the next weapon you will need. So we're just waiting for Sherry to come around and unlock this door. It does take her a minute. There we go. So we'll run into Sherry so that we can run past her as soon as she gets out of the way. And then we're going to come through here through this door, just whip out the assault rifle, and you just need to put one bullet into this guy. I sprayed a few more there, but you only need to hit him once with the assault rifle. When you use the rocket launcher, Claire does pause for a moment as you aim with it, so it's quicker to use the assault rifle to shoot that guy than it is the rocket launcher. And we've got to head into the train now to grab the joint plug, which is at the back of the train. So we're going to quick turn left up the stairs around here, and we'll slap this in our first 2 slots. You might notice it took a second longer for the menus to go away there. That's what I was talking about earlier. Kind of annoying, but not a huge amount you can do about it. So once you've done that, we'll head through this door and we'll use the joint plug on this empty socket. We'll get a cutscene cue, skip that, and run towards the train to trigger the fight with G4. You kind of just want to aim for the top of the train here. The splash damage will do as much damage to Birkin as hitting him directly. Once you've fired 9 rockets, you want to aim to the left of the floor so that you can immediately start hitting him with rockets as he jumps to the ground. Keep backing up away from him. You don't want to stun yourself with rockets at this point. And when he's crawling towards you, you want to make sure you've gained enough space between you and him to keep hitting him directly with rockets to kill him as quickly as possible. And that's it. So if there is anything you're struggling with at all, feel free to leave a comment or come through to my Twitch to message me. I'll try my best to get back to you. You can also join my Discord if you like. I'll leave a link to my Discord in the description. But yeah, twitch.tv/ifreams if you want to join those streams. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to probably do a video very similar to this one for Claire's second any percent run, which is basically the Claire B any percent run, which is the quickest speedrun of all the categories on Resident Evil 2. It's about 20 minutes. I think the time is 20 minutes 45. I recently got the record for that, although I haven't posted the record yet. I'll try to get that done very, very soon. It's very similar to this one, but yeah, interesting stuff to do. I really enjoyed making these runs. I'm going to be trying to learn a couple more runs, and I'll try to do some tutorial-based videos for those runs. And I want to move on to another game soon, though. Although Resident Evil 3 Remake is just around the corner, I'll probably be doing guides first for that game for anyone to follow, so you don't have to learn speedrun-based strats. You can just follow it for achievements or trophies like I have done in the past. I know plenty of you have probably watched those videos before. I should probably mention those videos if you're looking for more of a guide to do stuff like beating the game without using the item box or under 12,000 steps. Stuff like that. I have got a guide for that. I think there's an achievement tied to beating the game without healing yourself as well. If you'd rather beat the game without doing glitches or down patching the game, you can find that guide linked in the description. I'll try and put it there for you as well. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, take it easy.